Here we go. Here we go, brownies. The kids cardiac, catch me in the Muni where the party at. Dog pound, turn up with the elf up on my starter cap. Brought him back, boy we from the land and we proud of that. Louder man, front to the back, here we go, I got him shouting that. Here we go, brownies. Here we go. Here we go, brownies. Here we go, brownies. Stand up. Here we go, brownies. Let's go. Game on the line, Joe Thomas, I promise. Jim Brown running through opponents, how I got this. I return like Josh Cripps. Hand for the mini, got the dog pound jumping. Here we go, brownies. Here we go. Here we go, brownies. Here we go, brownies. Stand up. Here we go, brownies. Let's go.
Cleveland! This is for you! This is for you!
Mr. Hero's turning 60. We're proud to have served your favorite cravings for 60 years in celebrating what we do best. Thanks, Ohio.
I crave a hero.
And everybody to another episode of the Here We Go Brownies podcast. Apologies if there's a little bit of a delay. My Wi-Fi is being kind of crazy right now. Dustin, how am I? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
You look great. You look amazing. You feel good. You look good. You look good. You feel good. It's game week, folks. It is week 1 of the National Football League. What, tomorrow night? There's football, Thursday night, something like that going on. So we're 24 hours away from football, not in Cleveland. We got 3 days. We got the Bungles coming to town. Hopefully we can squash them and get to 1-0. But Allie, this came up quick. I don't know about you, but game week came up real quick, and I'm like, whoa, there's a game this Sunday. Let's go.
It's crazy how fast or kind of how slow the summer goes. And I mean, how many episodes did we do where like, oh my God, this feels like we've got no content to talk about. This is really hard. And then by the time that the end of July hits, it is just boom, 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 boom. There's so much content. And then next thing you know, it's week 1 and we've got football tomorrow. So pretty big show for you tonight. We're going to get into all of it. We're going to talk about our keys to a victory, our key matchups, things like that. We're going to go around the league, some bold predictions. We're also going to make our predictions for the NFL awards, the superlatives. And then we'll, at the end of the season, come back, look at them, see how we did. That's always fun. So we've got a lot coming at you. Dr. David Ullery will join the program here in a little bit to go over the injury report because we have the official injury report. So a lot coming at you, but you saw the commercial right beforehand. We were talking about our friends over at Mr. Hero. Guys, get the mobile app. You get buy one, get one offers just for signing up. You can order food from the app. You can collect points, rewards, all of that good stuff. So be sure to check out our friends over at Mr. Hero. They just do it right. Dustin, how are you feeling going into game week?
It's the Bengals. So typically if this was a different game, but I also thought we'd beat the Dallas Cowboys last year and that didn't happen. Guess what? I feel good. I don't like the line in this game, 5.5 points, for the away team that, I mean, they're still, yes, it's Joe Burrow. It's all those things. But we're at home. I don't know. The line seems a little wonky to me. Hey, maybe the line is just where I want it to be because my Boise State Broncos were favored by 5.5 and got their ass kicked on Thursday, and they lost 34-7. So maybe I hope that Vegas has the same problem with this 5.5 point spread this weekend, and we flip the script and beat up on the Bengals. So that'd be great. But no, I feel good. My offensive line looks like they're mostly there. We'll get into that, right? I feel good about that. I feel good about Joe Flacco with a whole entire offseason to run with this offense. David Njoku looks like they're the best of friends, him and Joe Flacco. So, I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Couple of things. Unfortunately, no news yet on the Quinshon Judkins situation. There has been some false rumors. If you are on Twitter or X, whatever they call it nowadays, some false rumors floating around that they have agreed to terms. I would love to believe that there is some truth behind that. But as of right now, looks like those were some false reports. I do believe probably sooner than later, a deal will get done. It is in both parties' best interest to get a deal done. Of course, us fans, we want to see Quinshon in the Browns uniform, and we'd like to see him sooner than later. And I would imagine for Quinchon and the Browns, they'd like to get a deal done. So no news on that front yet, unfortunately. Hopefully that changes. But going into week 1, if you looked on the depth chart, it is Jerome Ford. He is running back 1, and then Dylan Sampson behind him. Pierre Strong Jr. was waived off of the IR, which does kind of lead to some speculation, if you will, that maybe they are a little closer on the Quinchon situation than not. But, right. That's kind of the news right now on that front. Unfortunately, nothing really to report, but hopefully we have that for you.
Yeah. So question for me, Allie, I mean, even if we sign him and activate him, I mean, are we still waiting for the NFL? I know there's this about the conduct policy, because they've been kind of like crickets. So I don't really know what that means. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we are still, I mean, the end of, at the end of the day, the NFL still holds power here, and they can complete and conduct an investigation on the situation, regardless of what happened to him with the criminal justice system, which we know the charges were dropped. Nothing really happened. The NFL can still say, nope, we are going to investigate the situation and put you on the commissioner's exempt list. That's what happened last year with Mike Hall Jr., if you recall. I don't know, but it's also possible that the NFL kind of does nothing. So I don't really know what it's going to be. Like, I have absolutely no clue. I don't think anybody does. And I really also don't know what the holdup is with the contract situation, why that hasn't happened. I know that it would be beneficial to get it done so you can kind of expedite the NFL, make them make a move here and say, hey, we're going to look into this and see what that looks like. Because if you're the Browns, I think you would want to know what's going to happen, if there is any looming suspension or what that's going to look like. But right now, not a clue.
Yeah, I mean, with the Mike Hall situation, what he get 5 games, and then there was was it 5 or 6 games, and then he was able to come in and start actually playing. So, yeah, I know there was all this hope that he'd get signed this week, and maybe he'd get a few snaps in against the Bengals, and I was like, that's a lot of wishful thinking. That's a lot of wishful thinking.
And this is a really good point by our friend Angel here. If they do sign him, and if he does miss any games leading up to, as it stands right now, it looks like he's obviously going to miss week. They could count that in as time served if they do suspend him in any way. So
that's true. So if they did get him signed, good point. If they get him signed this week and he was eligible to play, technically that first game could count as part of his suspension, even if he didn't play. Good point. Yeah.
And I agree with this, Robin. He hasn't signed yet. Charges were dropped. The NFL shouldn't give any punishment. I agree. I think that's how the NFL should operate. Kind of put the ball in the court of the actual United States legal system. That's the way I would think of it. But unfortunately, that's not what Goodell thinks. So that's the news with the running back situation. Another just huge developing story. But Harold Fannin Jr. changed his number. He went from 88, which was really cool, I thought. Now he is 44. So he split it in half, which is a fullback number. Interesting. What do you think?
Now, isn't that the same number he played with at Bowling Green? Wasn't he 44 at Bowling Green as well? That's why he went back to.
I don't know. I'll have to look. Probably I think, that would make sense, but
I think that's why he went. I think that's why he went and picked 44, because that was his Bowling Green number. So I think that's why he went back to that.
I like that.
Hey, you know what? I don't care if he wears 0, 90, 30. I don't care, as long as he's catching touchdowns and getting multiple yards in the game he can wear whatever number he wants. I know these guys get really superstitious about their numbers and everything, but I'm like, let them have their number. I don't care if it's. I mean, he can be number 7. I don't care.
Yeah. There you go. We're gonna bring David on here in just a few moments. Before we do that, Dustin, we have a new sponsor to introduce, and I would like to imagine that a lot of our listeners are going to be very interested in this, because I know I am. Dustin, why don't you tell our listeners about Southern Tier Brewing and the Here We Go Brownies?
So Southern Tier Brewing, right in downtown Cleveland here. Come enjoy. They got a lot of activities this month, including September 20th, their annual Southern Tier Pumpkin Fest. I mean, who doesn't want to go to that? Like, all kinds of different flavored beers, live music. But the really cool thing is we're partnering with them, and now there's Here We Go Brownies Brown Ale. That's right. The Here We Go Brownies Brown Ale. How cool. Now you can get our name and likeness in a beer at Southern Tier Brewing. Go check them out. Of course, they have a lot of other amazing beers as well. But you know what's also cool? Every time you go there for Brown Sundays, $5 light bite specials, buffalo cauliflower. By the way, I'm kind of low carb. I kind of like the idea of buffalo cauliflower. Kind of sounds good. Also, ranch dusted chips, pretzel bites, chips and salsa, chicken poppers, all for $5. Those are some great appetizers, and they open. I believe. Let's see what time they open. They open early, so I think they're open by 11 for the football season. So, but they're right down here in downtown Cleveland, so it's a great place to stop on your way to go into the game, take the family. But by the way, they have really good pizzas too. I've had their pizzas multiple times. Great pizzas there as well. So check them out. We're excited, by the way. More things to come from these guys, and we'll talk more about these guys moving forward, working with them, doing activities and all kinds of fun stuff. But more importantly, here we go, Brownies Brown Ale. Go get some. Have some. It's on tap. It's on tap right now. It's on tap.
There you go. Also, want to tell you about our friends over at True Fan Travel. Think of them as your ultimate sports road trip buddy, all about bringing you closer to the heart-pounding action of your favorite away games. Whether you're cheering from the stands or soaking in the local vibes, they make sure that every trip is packed with those I was there moments. Grab your gear, make some memories with True Fan Travel. We're going to bring David on here a little bit early because there's a lot to get to. I want to go through the injury report, a couple of things injury-wise, and then we've got some picks to make. We've got some content, some looking ahead to this week. So with that, we're going to bring Dr. David Ullery onto the program. This is brought to you by our friends over at Lorello Vineyards.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woof, woof.
Hello, welcome to Lorello Vineyards, Larry and Kim Lorello. We have a beautiful Here We Go Brownies wine that we would like to offer to you this season as we did last season. We have several other award-winning wines, lovely entertainment and events coming this summer. So come and see us, wine a bit, you'll feel better.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Muni lot this fall. Go Browns.
All right, let's bring him on. The husband of the program, Dr. David Ullery. Hi, David.
Hello. Hey, Allie and Dustin.
Hey, doctor, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. It's another beautiful Wednesday night in Pensacola, Florida.
Hey, condolences. We're both, you're 0-1 with your Notre Dame. I'm 0-1 with Boise State. Now, of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes, they won over Texas. So kind of a mixed bag for college football this week.
So the good news is the number one team is 1-0 and the true defending champions. So
there you go. Hell yeah, go Bucks. Hell yeah, go Bucks. Look, we got a lot to get into, David. I want to start with the medical situation. We just talked about the Browns have waived Pierre Strong Jr. off of the IR. I want to talk about that. And then we'll get into some football stuff later on in your segment, but I'll kick it over to you. Let's go through the injury report and anything else that is relevant here with any injuries.
yeah, absolutely. So first official injury report came out this week, as we know. On the injury report today, I should say, excuse me. On the injury report, nothing too concerning except for maybe, one player. I mean, just kind of going through it from top to bottom, just because it's our first one of the year. Joel Bitonio was listed on the injury report as a limited participant in practice, but it wasn't injury related. He was just getting some rest. Side note, I don't know if you saw, but one of the reasons Kevin claims that Joel came back is because they put a golf simulator in upstairs. There's a man after our own heart right there. So he's just getting some rest. He's been in the league for a while and has had other injuries, so it's good for him to just, he's going to be ready to roll for Sunday. Diabate was one that we were kind of wondering, is he going to be able to play, suit up for Sunday or not? He did practice today. He was a limited participant with a quad injury, but he did practice. And so the hope there is that he will be able to suit up on Sunday just for our depth at linebacker, as we know. Big one really is Mike Hall Jr. He is still not practicing with a knee injury. My gut says that he's not going to be playing on Sunday. Just give him some time to rest and kind of get ready to be fully healthy for the season. It's knee injury, so I don't know what the exact nature of it is, but hopefully it's just something that's a little tweak and he can recover from and get back to it after the first and second week. Shelby Harris had an illness, no issues there. Cornelius Lucas was a full participant in practice despite his ankle injury, so should be good to roll there for kind of that swing tackle position. Posich, limited in practice with a knee injury, but again, no concerns in terms of being ready to go for Sunday. Cedric Tillman with his thumb was a full participant. Denzel Ward was still limited. We know he's been kind of nursing a shoulder injury throughout the offseason and training camp here, but he's practicing. He's going to suit up. He's a tough guy. We know that he doesn't, take things lightly and doesn't really sit out for nothing. So we'll see him for sure. And then Blake Whitehart is the last one listed, again with a knee injury with a limited participant. But again, all these guys with these limited injuries are likely going to play, and the only one that probably isn't going to play is Mike Hall.
Okay, interesting. And thankfully, we don't have a ton of injuries to report. That certainly makes you feel a lot better going into week one. Yeah, knock on wood. Certainly makes you feel a little bit better going into this situation. You're going up, especially defensively, David. You've got a Bengals offense that, as we know, is potent. They are going to be good. That is what they're going to be. That is going to be their recipe going into this season. It's just relying on Joe Burrow and the 2 receivers and Chase Brown. Offensive line, they didn't really do much to help Joe. Defensively, they didn't really do much. So for the Browns defensively, you feel pretty good about them going into this game, kind of at full health outside of the Mike Holt situation. But you feel pretty good about going into this game with your current health status.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, there are a ton of huge issues. Obviously, we've already dealt with Martin Emerson and his season-ending injury. But beyond that, at least the last couple of weeks of training camp, everything kind of wrapped up and everything looks to be, in good position. Now, obviously, we were dealing with it last year, but we know the absence of JOK is going to be a big issue, and we're going to see it for sure. But hopefully we've got some young guys who are willing to step up and fill that role, and hopefully it stays that way, and we don't have to have a lot of long conversations this season.
David, I want to highlight this real quick. I know we just talked about the Mike Hall situation. Robert says here, not understanding Mike Hall's injury because he cleared and passed his physical. I know that we don't have a ton of context in on this, but just want to highlight that. What do you think? I mean, and then James here in response says, think they're letting him get back to 100% comfortable, getting back into it, which I think that's possible, but do you have anything to comment there?
I don't have a ton of details, kind of as you alluded to. We know that this knee has kind of been a lingering issue for him. We know he kind of had this injury towards the end of the year last year, an MCL sprain that kind of sidelined him for the rest of the year. And then he was placed on the active and PUP list in July. But I mean, as the listener said, he kind of cleared and has returned to play. And why isn't he practicing right now if he's off that PUP list and activated? I think that's a good kind of speculation that they're just making sure he is fully ready to go and 100% prepared. Obviously, he's a guy they want on the roster. He's going to be a contributor. He's someone that is important to this team. And so I think rather than putting him on the IR and he's going to miss the first 4 weeks, they felt that this is something where maybe he's just going to miss one more game and he'll be ready to go. So to me, that's a sign that he is going to get going here in September, because otherwise they would have put on the IR last week when the cutdown happened. So it's just a matter of, I think, getting him fully practiced and back up to speed. Just because, I mean, his rookie season was not, a full season. The suspension followed by an injury, and then ultimately just everything else that's gone along with it. I think that's probably kind of the gist of it. But again, and this is a good amount of speculation too, unfortunately.
Yeah, we need him for that rotation. But it'll be interesting. Like, to your point and to the person that made the comment there, it's one of those situations where they just don't think he's physically and mentally ready for week one of the season based on the other guys that are in the rotation. I mean, that could be a real thing to your point. If he's already cleared, physically, is he just not game ready? And that might be the case. And I mean, at least that's the strength of our defense. Is the defensive line. So thank goodness we do have some depth there.
Yeah, definitely. And David, I just saw your text. You got a little bit of a delay. I don't know what's going on with us and our Wi-Fi. I do apologize to everybody for our situation.
You guys look good. I mean, it was sort of the first 10 minutes was like that, but the last hasn't been like that at all.
But we're good now. Okay. All right. David, you're good. You are a little bit choppy, but for the most part, you're good. Like right now, David, I think you're frozen, but that's okay.
Wait, David is frozen right now. You're right.
So with that, I'll go ahead and just kick him off real quick. I think he's refreshing
Okay.
So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick sponsor read. Guys, we want to tell you about our friends over at Stadium Mustard. Guys, if you don't have Stadium Mustard in your kitchen this season, you're doing it wrong. The iconic brand, the iconic taste, but love from ballparks to backyards and everywhere in between. Stadium Mustard is a smooth brown mustard rich in both taste and tradition. Loved by millions. Be sure to head on over to stadiummustard.com to shop now. All right, let's see if we can. Oh, geez, my computer is being a little bit slow. I got a little delay. Can everybody?
Yeah,
you're
good.
Can you hear me, Dustin? Am I live?
You're not delayed on my end. Yeah. Now you've got a little
All
bit.
right, beautiful, perfect. Let's. David, how are you? Can you hear us?
Sorry about that.
Nope.
Yeah. There.
No.
Okay.
No,
David,
yeah.
I
yes
can
or
hear
no?
Yeah, he can see.
Yep.
I
All
can
right, we're
see
gonna
him.
kick him back off again.
No, he was good. He was good.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just a little
All right, well,
choppy.
here's what I'm going to do. It is delayed on my end. So I am going to, all right, Dustin, I'm going to hop off and I'm going to refresh my Wi-Fi. I'm going to turn it over to you if you can just talk for like a minute. Okay?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool.
So guys, yeah, we were just technical delays. I've been on, it's funny, I've been on this end of that podcast where we've had delays. So guys, as Allie readjusts her internet, we're going to go talk about some preseason predictions for most valuable player. We're going to talk about who is going to be the offensive player of the year in our minds, the defensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, and then we're going to get into this game on Sunday and our key matchups, our keys to win we're going to talk about, and then game predictions. Obviously, we're going to look for you guys to participate in that and give some game predictions on that as well. Obviously, we're going to get into Joe Flacco. We're going to get into the keys to these matchups. But more importantly for you guys, what I want to know is we're going to get into some score predictions. So let's save those for the end of the show, and then you guys can keep those fresh, and we'll do those at the end of the show. How are we doing? You feel good?
All right. We're good. I think we're good.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
All right, I'm on my hotspot. So get on your hotspot and we'll kick things off. So I apologize. I don't know what's going on. We've had a couple of issues at the house recently with some like just electrical stuff. So it could just be that. I don't know. So we'll give David a moment here just to reconnect. But thank you for doing that. Thank you.
Yeah. So I basically just gave him a rundown of what we're going to talk about on the show. So.
All right, so let's get back to talking. We're going to bring David on here, and we're going to kind of just transition back to talking about football. Let's get into our key matchups for this game, and I think David's good. We're going to get into our key matchups. We're going to get into our, keys to a victory. But let's start with our key matchups. Dustin, I'll turn it over to you. What are you looking for specifically in this game?
Honestly, the key matchups for me is in the trenches for this football game. And what I mean by the trenches, the offensive line giving Joe Flacco enough time to throw the ball and being able to get his wide receivers open or tight ends. And then based on the Rams game that I watched, I'm looking forward to that front four being nasty on the defensive side of the ball and making it a long day for Joe Burrow. And basically, I'd love to see a couple sacks from Myles Garrett. Or maybe one of the other guys that gets free because they're focusing on Myles Garrett. But for me, the key matchups is that offensive defensive line. If you win in the trenches, I think you can win this football game on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, for what I'm looking forward to here, I'm really looking forward to our corners up against their receivers. We know what this offense wants to do. We know that their entire recipe, and they've been pretty public about it, is it's Joe Burrow and it's the two receivers. So I'm very curious to see how Denzel Ward, Cam Mitchell, and those guys, even our safeties, can go up against T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. And specifically, too, how we stop Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown's going to be a really good running back this season. So I'm very curious to see this linebacking group and how we're able to stop and really just absorb the run. That's really what I'm looking forward to the most. Of course, the trenches, like you mentioned, that's always going to be a point of focus. But David, what about you? What are you thinking just in terms of matchups?
Yeah, so the biggest one that I kind of highlighted here that I'm looking forward to is seeing what the front seven on defense can do against the run game. Specifically, the rookie defensive tackle and Mason Graham, and then the linebacker was Carson Schlesinger. We know what they're going to do on offense. We know that their primary target, secondary target, it's all passing game. That they light it up, they're going for yards, they're going for attempts, for completions, and so they're going to get some of those yards. They're going to get some of those plays, and so if the Browns can find a way to stop them from playing complementary football and shut down the run and keep Chase Brown contained, I think that that's going to go a long way to make the offense as one-dimensional as you can be with Joe Burrow there, and hopefully give them a little bit better chance. I agree. Otherwise, I think offensive line health and protection is really going to be something that I'm looking forward to, just because we've had so many issues with the offensive line over the last 2 years and injuries, and the Browns are going to have to be able to pass to keep up, I think, ultimately. So offensive line is going to have to get some good pass protection so that Joe can make his reads and hit the guys downfield.
What about keys to a victory? How do the Browns win this game? David, you just mentioned Browns are going to have to pass the ball. I'll turn it to you. David, we'll start with you on this. Outside of that, and outside of kind of the obvious, dominating the time of possession, turnover battle, things like that, how do the Browns come away with a win in this game?
Yep. So kind of two things I highlighted is keeping Joe Burrow under 300 yards passing. This is a pretty cool stat that came out earlier today from Brad Stainbrook. Browns defense has gone 28 straight games without allowing a QB to pass for over 300 yards, which is the longest streak in the NFL. Second closest streak right now is the Eagles with 13. And so that's kind of been their MO. We know that this has been a top defense, and if they continue to do that, that is how they're going to win. That's the recipe for success for this team, given the continuous quarterback carousel. And so keeping Joe under 300 yards, and then kind of as a complement to that, winning the run game battle, both offensively and defensively, I think are really going to be the three key pieces for victory this week.
Yeah, for
Dustin,
me,
what do you think?
Yeah, as I say, I saw that same stat, which I thought was very interesting. 26 games in a row, which is kind of pretty impressive. And then the second one's 13 games to the Eagles. There's like a big disparity there between the two. But for me, keys to the win. When Joe Burrow's hot, when Joe Flacco's hot and he's passing the ball and not giving it to his opponent, and if he can get over 300 yards passing, to your point, the passing game is going to have to be. I think we're going to have to rely on the pass. I think the Bengals are going to expect us to run because that's kind of been our MO. But I think if we can get some big explosive plays from Joe Flacco. We got two Joes playing this weekend. I'm getting confused. If you can get Joe Flacco early and often to the tight ends and make some big plays and get kind of like I don't want to say a big lead, but get up on the Bengals so you can be a little more aggressive on offense or on defense, that would be great. Like 10-0 or something like that. If you can get up on that and take some chances on defense, to me, that's going to be the keys to this as the Browns get up early and then just make it really just a tough afternoon for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, actually, our friend Angel here, he actually made my point, what I was going to say, and that is just disrupting the line, absolutely creating pressure on Joe Burrow, because I talked about it at the show where I don't think that the Bengals did a very good job in solidifying their offensive line. Really, they paid their stars and that's it. And I don't think that's going to be the reason that they, make it far in the playoffs. I think that they are going to struggle. They're going to have to. I think Joe's going to have an MVP caliber season because he's going to have to play a lot of catch up because the defense can't stop anybody. Good point. That's why I think Joe's going to be so good this year. And I think he's very talented also. But being able to get to Joe quickly and often, and I think that our defensive line can and will do that. I think that battle in the trenches, I'm going to give the nod to the Browns every single time there. Also, I think it's important not only just to focus on receiving yards, but receptions, getting the ball into the hands of the playmakers consistently. Jerry Jeudy, I think, needs to see no less than 6 targets if you want to win this football game. He's far and away the best receiver on this team. Now, I like Cedric Tillman. I like Thrash. I like some of these guys. But Jerry Jeudy, he's a vet that has been there, done it. I like it. Even including David Njoku into this conversation. Dustin, you mentioned the chemistry that him and Joe Flacco have. I'd like to see that on the field. No less than maybe 4.5 catches for David Njoku. I like tight end screens in this game. I like that matchup. I think going back to the previous segment of what's the best matchup, I like being able to use David Njoku as a big-bodied receiver in this game. He's gotten a lot better in the blocking game, but also just using him as a threat offensively. I think they will, and maybe I'll make that bet on receptions for Judy and David Njoku. So I think that's how the Browns can win this game. Obviously, we know that they have to dominate the time of possession. That's kind of a given. And win the turnover battle. If you win the turnover battle, you're sitting pretty. Another thing, and I think this kind of goes without saying, is you have to capitalize on special teams, being able to flip the field. We know that Corey Bajorquez is really good at doing that. And also kicks. So we know that the Browns have parted ways with Dustin Hopkins, but being able to come in and get points when you can, that matters in this game, especially against a very high-powered offense that you have in the Cincinnati Bengals. So there's our keys to a victory and our key matchups. Of course, a couple other things to get to before we transition and just go around the league. Anything else that we're looking forward to in this game, guys?
David, you go first.
I'm just excited that football and the NFL's back. It always feels like the off season's longer and longer, but then, like you said earlier, like all of a sudden we're here and it is week 1 ready to go. So just excited to be football on TV, back on the couch, just soaking it all in.
Yeah, for me, obviously we know what Jared Judy can do. We know what David Njoku can do. For me, I want to see some of these other guys be contributors in this game, like Thrash and Tillman, to step up and be those guys that maybe make a big play or something like that and actually get off to a really good, comfortable part of this season. And you know what I'd like to see is the Browns be a little explosive on offense. And what I mean by that is we were 32nd ranked in the league last year when it came to the Cleveland Browns. And for me, I just want to see just more points scored, just more points scored overall in this football game. Because if we can get over, and we'll get into our score predictions, but I think if we can get more than 21 points in this game, we have a good shot at winning this because of our defense. But
yeah. David, Larry Lorello needs a pill for a long, crazy tailgate in the meeting lot. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Yeah, speaking of that, guys, if you're in Cleveland this weekend, Larry Lorello and Allie's been on this bus, the Muni lot, Larry has hired a band, a physical band called Light of Day for a party for the entire day. Is going to be set up there. Our good friend Ray Showdog is going to be down there with his truck. But they're going to be partying, and Allie and I know this all too well because of where we stayed in our hotel rooms just a block away. But at 6 a.m., they start cranking up the music in the Muni lot. So it's going to be early and often that that the party is going to be happening down there. But the band will be there for several hours. So come check us out. We're going to be down there in the Muni lot. It's going to be crazy. By the way, week 1 in Cleveland is just crazy anyway. The home opener is absolutely maddening. And it's kind of I've never seen tailgates like this in my life. And I'm not biased as a Browns fan. I've been to a lot of cities, but Browns fans are rabid crazy, and especially for game 1, they will be there. By the way, just side note, Allie, I think you know this, but they start lining up on Saturday, like at 10 a.m. to get into the Muni lot Sunday morning. Yeah. Hundreds of cars. It's insane. So.
Yeah, there you have it. Real quick, guys, if you were looking for some official Here We Go Brownies podcast apparel, head on over to We Bleed Ohio. They do great designs there. They've got baseball, football, basketball designs. They can do it all. They can do some custom things. Be sure to check out our friends over at We Bleed Ohio. And also, while you're in town, head on over to City Barbecue. Guys, they've got award-winning sauces, sides, and meats. You can go cater your event, and they're just really nice people. So if maybe you're throwing a party, a tailgate even, we're talking about that, give City Barbecue a call. They can help you out.
So Allie,
let's go around yes.
As I say, really funny story about City Barbecue. I put out a score prediction for our game, and I said you get an autographed item and a $25 gift card and a surprise prize. There is 650 guesses on the score of the game. So I'm like, I think I'm going to have to give out multiple $25 gift cards because there's going to be ties with 650 guesses. I had no idea we'd get 650 guesses.
There we go. All right. We're going to go around the league. Let's do some bold predictions. So we're going to each give a couple, and you can get as crazy with it as you want, or, maybe just something. It can even just be a prediction that you have. It doesn't have to be that spicy, but interpret that as you will, whatever you guys want to do with it.
Can we do one for the Browns and one for the NFL, like a twofer?
Well, we're going to do like about 4 or 5 of them each. So if you want to throw a Browns one in there, that's totally fine. But David, I'd like to start with you. Can you give me a bold prediction for this upcoming NFL season?
Yeah, sure. My first one here is that the Chiefs are not going to win their division.
Oh, wow. That is spicy. That is spicy, bold, and that's a hot take all the way around.
Sean Payton found his guy. Everyone's really high about their rookie running back in RJ Harvey. I think that this Broncos team has what it takes to challenge Mahomes and the Chiefs on their throne. And I think this is the year they get it done. Sean Payton knows how to win.
Ooh, I like it. Dustin, give me something.
The Browns go 10-7, and they make the playoffs, and the Browns don't know what to do with Joe Flacco because he's been flinging it all year, and the quarterback situation is still unsolved at the end of the season. 10-7 Browns wild card. That is my bold prediction. 10-7 wild card.
All right. I like it. My first bold prediction is that Tyreek Hill will get traded before the trade deadline. And part of that is not because of him just not being happy in Miami. I just think that Miami actually could be one of the worst teams in the league this year. I really do. I think that they'll be probably picking top 8 in this upcoming draft. I really do. So I think that they might move on from him if maybe Tua gets injured or anything like that. So I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill is traded before the NFL trade deadline. Could make a return back to Kansas City. And there you go, David. All right, David, next up.
So second one here is I think we're going to see, we kind of saw it last year, but even more so this year, kind of the return of the running back. And what I mean by that is I just think we're going to be seeing a lot more carries, a lot more running back heavy offenses. We're going to be looking at running backs getting 15, 20, 25 touches a game, kind of back like we did in the 2000s. And it's just going to be a resurgence of this because of the way that defense is shifting. Defenses are more creative. We're having a lot of more over-the-top coverage where we can't get guys like Tyreek Hill open deep and get these wild passes going. And so I think we're going to see a ton of running back production and volume across the league. And I'm excited about it. I played running back in high school, and it's a position near and dear to my heart. And so I hope we see a lot of it, and I think the league is poised for it.
Dustin, what do you got? Give me another one.
Yeah, another bold prediction for me is I think because of what you just said, David, the running back position is going to be more valued this year. I think a sleeper team, we know 40% of the teams that are in the playoffs this year historically are not in the playoffs the following year. So my bold prediction is on the legs and the violent running of Ashton Genty, the Las Vegas Raiders are a wild card football team. I'm not predicting they're going to win the division, but they are a wild card football team that sneaks into the playoffs with Pete Carroll as their new head coach, Geno and Ashton Genty playoff bound. That's my bold prediction.
It's interesting. I don't think that's too crazy. I don't think that's too far off. But the AFC is such a gauntlet in comparison to the NFC. I'm going to stick with the running back conversation here. And at the end of the season, when we look back on it, I'm predicting that Chase Brown is running back 1. I think that if you haven't drafted yet in your fantasy drafts, probably maybe the last night for that. So you can get your hands on Chase Brown, and he's going to be incredibly valuable to the Cincinnati team. He can run very effectively, and he can catch the ball very well. So this is going to be a high-powered offense, and I think that also speaks to maybe why I'm making this prediction. They're going to be high-powered. They are going to be running the ball. They're going to be passing the ball a lot, and he's very capable. He's a very capable catcher of the football. So I think Chase Brown potentially running back 1 after the season. David, back to you. Give me another one.
All right. Kind of following in the vein of running backs making a resurgence, I think we will see multiple tight ends lead their team in receiving by the end of the season. Guys I'm considering include Trey McBride, George Kittle, and even Tyler Warren in Indianapolis. I think we have a lot of really good tight ends in the league right now, and it's really exciting just to see this play and how dynamic they can be. And I think that they're going to get the lion's share of targets on a lot of these teams. Again, kind of going back to kind of the over-the-top cover 2 defense that is really preventing teams from taking the top off. So you're going to have these kind of emergency valves kind of in the middle of the field that quarterbacks are going to rely on. And so I think at least 3 or 4 are going to lead their team in receiving by the end of the year.
Okay, we're sticking to bold predictions, right? In such a Cleveland way, such a bold and Cleveland prediction way, because they play in not a very strong division. Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers make the Super Bowl. And Allie, you're a little frozen.
I know. I can see
You're
it.
back.
Uh-oh. All right. I can see. I just got the notification that my Wi-Fi was being funky again there. So am I good now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yep.
All right, cool.
So my prediction was I don't know if you heard my prediction, but yeah.
I gotcha. Yep, I gotcha. My next prediction here is that the Lions will struggle to get 10 wins, but they'll sneak into a wild card spot. I don't think they win the division this year, and I say that because they lost both their coordinators. I think that they do take a dip in production. I don't think they're going to be a bad team. I just think they have a pretty tough schedule, and I think that they might struggle to get to 10 wins there. Anything else you guys got? Anything else, David?
This one's kind of in the light of the recent craziness surrounding the trade. I don't think I don't think Parsons is going to play more than 9 games this season. I know that a lot of people are taking the Packers to win the division. We're looking at that too. And even without him, I think they still can. But this injury seems a little bit more serious than everyone kind of knew or anticipated. And they're talking about him needing injections regularly throughout the season just to be able to play. For someone who's a kind of a stand-up defensive end, outside linebacker position with a lot of bend, having a pretty painful damaged lumbar spine, that's going to be a big issue for him. So I don't think we're going to see him play more than half the games this year.
Yeah, that is bold. I think that would be pretty interesting. Dustin, anything else from you?
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit the opposite way of David on this. I think Denver has a sophomore slump. Quarterbacks are typically having sophomore slumps, and I think that's where the Raiders will switch out with the Broncos because they beat up each other in the AFC West, and I think the Broncos could be seen on the outside looking in. And they are the odd people out because there's always 40% of the teams that rotate out. So I'm going to just take it a little bit different spin and say the Raiders come in and possibly take that spot. And I honestly do think the Chiefs are going to win the division just because they have I don't even know how it's like they got the cheat code, but they have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, which is ridiculous when you look at. They could. I mean, technically, if they play really good, they could go 17-0. I mean, they don't. I mean, look at their schedule; it's ridiculous. It's not an easy schedule. It's not hard at all. It's easy. It's stupid.
Yeah. All right. My last one is that the Commanders take a step back. They have a little bit of a sophomore slump with Jaden Daniels. And the only reason I'm saying that is because they made the NFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback. So it's not even going to be a true slump. It's just anything other than the Super Bowl will be considered a slump. So that's really kind of the basis for that prediction. But I do think the Eagles probably win that division. So with that, and I kind of want to go rapid fire with this, I want to make our predictions here on all of the division winners. So we'll go around the room. And like I said, we'll try to go fairly quickly on this because I know we're kind of pressed for time. But we'll start with the AFC North. Dustin, who do you have winning the AFC North? And I'll write them down. That way at the end of the season, we can come back and look.
As much as I hate to say it, we're all playing against the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens will be the AFC North champions. That running game and Lamar Jackson are deadly.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking the Ravens here. It kills me to say it, but I agree. David, what do you think?
Ravens. Yep.
Ravens. Yep. All right, let's turn it over to the NFC North. Dustin, who do you have winning that division?
Well, now there's been all these weird things with Micah Parsons going to the Packers. I mean, that division got a little interesting with that trade. that happened like right in the middle of the football game, the USF Boise State game, which was crazy that was going down. Boy, this is going to be tough. Let's go. I'm going to go Packers on this one. I'm going to go Packers winning the division.
I agree. I'm taking the Packers. I'm high on the Packers this year. I think they have a lot of talent. They really do. This is a good football team. So I'm also going to go with the Packers. David, who you got?
Just to be contrarian, and maybe their bubble isn't closed yet, we'll go with the Lions here. Hutch is back. He's going to be primed for a great season. We'll go Lions.
All right. AFC South. I'm going to go with the Texans. Look, this is a pretty bad division. I think the Texans are actually not going to be as good as they were a year ago. They don't have Joe Mixon. We know that they have Nick Chubb, but we don't know what version of Nick Chubb they're going to get necessarily. I think the Jags could actually be sneaky with a new head coach. They've got some talent too, but I'm going to stick with the Texans on this one to win the division. Dustin, who you got?
It's a terrible division. I wish the Browns played in that division. Jaguars not going to be that great. Titans, yeah, I'm going to go Texans. It's not a really. The teams that are in there aren't hitting their peak yet, so I gotta stick with the Texans on this one.
All right, David, what do you got?
Going Texans as well. We had a pretty good conversation about this over the weekend, Allie, and we were comparing the two rosters, and we were close to picking Jags, but Texans have an outstanding defense, and I just think that's going to win them the division.
I agree. NFC South. I'm going to take the Bucks here. Dustin, I agree with you. I don't know necessarily that they're going to make or win the Super Bowl, but I think that they're going to win their division. I think they're a really tough team. Give me the Bucks. What do you think, Dustin?
Bucks, and the reason I made that kind of weird, bold prediction, if they can run the gauntlet and sweep the teams in their division, they could be a 1 or 2 seed, and we all know when you're a 1 or 2 seed, what that happens.
Right.
You're getting home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And by the way, Baker Mayfield has better stats over the last 2 years than Patrick Mahomes last 2 years. Better stats overall.
David, who you got here?
I'm going with the Panthers. The stars have aligned. The last 2 times that Ohio State has won a national championship, the following season, the Panthers have won their division. Give me the Carolina Panthers.
What, Dave?
We did place a bet.
Doctor, what are you drinking on the patio out there in the sunroom or whatever room you're in? Taking the Carolina Panthers to win the division? What is wrong with you? All right.
I love that Carolina blue. Let's go.
It is nice. It is a nice color. AFC
Wow.
East. I think this isn't even a conversation, really. It's the Bills, right? Yeah, Bills. Bills all around.
It's the Bills.
It's the Bills, right?
Patriots
All right.
are going to be good, but it's the Bills.
I see the Patriots could be a sneaky wild card team with Vrabel and Trayvon Henderson and that bunch. Yeah, they could be a sneaky team.
I agree, but Bills to win the division. All right, the NFC East. I'm going to take the Eagles. Like I said in my bold prediction that the Commanders do take a small step back. I still think they make the playoffs. But give me the Eagles to win the division. Dustin, what do you think?
Eagles.
David, what do you think?
EAGLES, Eagles.
I think you spelled it right.
That's very helpful as I'm writing this down.
There was a whole meme going around where Eagles fans were chanting Eagles and they were spelling it wrong. It was hilarious.
Classic. AFC West. We already kind of started to talk about this. David, I know that you might think that it is the Broncos, but until the Chiefs are just not this team anymore, like until they give me a reason not to pick them, I'm going to pick them to win this division. Give me the Chiefs. Dustin, what do you think?
Chiefs.
Yeah. What do you think, David? You want me to write you down formally to pick the Broncos? Or is that just
I'm not a liar. I'm not a hypocrite. I stay true to my word. We're going Broncos.
Wow.
Broncos. Cool. I like it. The NFC West. Dustin, what do you think here?
Boy, this division's kind of a weird one this year. You got new quarterback, San Francisco. Are they the team? Are they back? Who are the Rams? This is probably the toughest one to pick, honestly, when I'm looking at this. So I'm going to go give me the Niners on this one. Give me the Niners to bounce back and have a division.
I agree. I think the Niners are going to be a tough team this year. I think that Brock Purdy, while they don't have Debo anymore, I think Ricky Pearsall is going to step up in a big way. I think CMC is going to be back to his original form, and they've got an incredible defense. Robert Saleh is the defensive coordinator, so I will take that. But I think if there wasn't question right now about Matthew Stafford's health, I'd really consider the Rams. But just because we don't know what his situation is, I'm going to go with the Niners. David, what do you think?
This is tough. This division is always competitive, and I think, given all the reasons you said, I'm going Niners here too. But I think Cardinals are going to make a run. They're going to get close as well, and I think Cardinals might be a sneaky wild card team.
I agree with that. I do. They got a lot better this offseason. So there you have it. There's our predictions for the division winners. And similarly, we're going to go pretty quickly here, and then I'll kick you, David. I'm going to come out there and just kick you. We're going to do our NFL awards. So let's kind of go quickly here if we can. We'll start with MVP. Dustin, who are you taking?
I was going back between Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Obviously, Josh Allen's not going to win it again. I'm going to go Lamar Jackson because everything starts with and ends with Lamar Jackson on the Baltimore Ravens. If he can, I'm gonna go Lamar.
All right, I'm actually gonna go with Joe Burrow here, and actually for the reason that I stated earlier, I think their defense is going to be so bad that Joe has to throw 65 times a game. Actually, that's actually low in like what I'm picturing them to do offensively, like 80 times a game. So Joe Burrow for MVP this season. David, what do you think?
That's funny.
Statistically, Joe should have won it last year, but I'm going to go with Lamar as well. I think he gets his third before Patrick does. I
think so. All right, Offensive Player of the Year. I'll kick this one off. I'm going to go with Jamar Chase, exactly for the reason that I just laid out. Joe's got to throw to somebody. It's Jamar Chase. Give me Jamar here for Offensive Player of the Year. Dustin.
I'm going Jamar Chase too. I had Saquon unprecedentedly winning back-to-back. I think that is unprecedented, would not happen. But I'm going to go with Jamar Chase here. That's who I had down.
Yeah.
Just for the same reasons that you talked about Joe Burrow. I think Jamar Chase is going to get a lot of looks this year and a hell of a lot of yards.
Yeah. David.
What did I say earlier? It's the return of the running back, and we're going to have two in a row. Give me Bijan.
Bijan. Ooh. You know what? I think that's a good pick. I do. I think that's a really good pick. In a lot of fantasy drafts, he was going number 2 overall. Whether you like it or you hate it, I think that he's going to have a lot of production this year. Let's turn it over to the defensive side of the ball. Defensive Player of the Year. Dustin, I'll kick it off with you.
Mason Graham is there. He's ready to roll. Myles Garrett, baby. And I think Myles Garrett could be knocking on the door of, shall I say it, legendary sack totals to where we're talking about could he break a record. I think Myles Garrett, man, like I said, I watched that Rams game and that front looked nasty. And they were getting off to that quarterback quick with the ones in there. So I'm looking forward to see what Myles Garrett does this Sunday. So give me Myles Garrett for Defensive Player of the Year.
I agree. I think this is his year. He's already done it. I think he does it again, really solidifies himself. He got that big contract. He's going to show the world why he deserved that. Give me Myles Garrett here. David.
His feet worry me. There's something about him. I don't know, but I'm going Hutch here. He is back. He is leaner. He is meaner. They're saying he's faster and bendier than he was last season, and he was on a record-setting pace last year. He's going to kind of make that resurgence and finish the year, and it's going to Hutchinson.
Yeah, I like it. I absolutely think that. And if it's not Hutch for Defensive Player of the Year, I think he's absolutely a candidate for Comeback Player of the Year. After that nasty leg injury a year ago. All right, turning it over to the rookies. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Man, I kind of went back and forth here. Dustin, I have a feeling I know who you're probably going to take, so I'll let you.
I am staying with this guy. I'm running with this guy. And Cleveland, you should have drafted this guy. Offensive Rookie of the Year, sticking with the running backs. Ashton Jeanty runs violently this year and takes the Raiders to the playoffs.
I was between Ashton Jeanty and this guy. I ended up going with this guy. Really, just place. I think he is going to be very helpful this year's draft, and that is Cam Ward. I'm taking him as my Offensive Rookie of the Year. And I saw that I just that if I broke up, I'm taking Cam Ward here. David.
Cam Moore.
I'm going with Tyler Warren. I think he is going to be a main piece in Indianapolis. He doesn't have any competition there in terms of the depth and the tight end room, and he's got a veteran quarterback, a somewhat veteran quarterback throwing to him. I think he's going to play a big role in that offense, and he's going to be the next big tight end coming into the NFL.
Yeah. Now let's turn it over to the defensive side of the ball. Defensive Rookie of the Year. David, I'll start with you on this one. Who do you have?
I was between two players. I think ultimately I'm going to go with Carson Schlesinger, the middle linebacker rookie for the Browns. He is green dot guy. He is filling a huge role in JOK's absence. But if this defense is going to live up to the expectation that it has for the last couple of years, he's going to be a key part of that. And I think they're going to. So that gives him the edge and Defensive Rookie of the Year voting.
Yeah, I love it. Dustin, what do you think?
For me, this guy is going to be dynamic. He's going to prove why he is who he is. I think Travis Hunter wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. And he's going to just show who he is and what he is and why he was drafted and why the Browns, and why he went with the Jaguars. And that's why they made their pick that they got from the Cleveland Browns. I'm going with Travis Hunter.
All right, cool. Now for mine, I'm actually going with Jahad Campbell, the linebacker. And the reason I'm doing that is when he was drafted, I just had a feeling, and I told David that he's going to be the Defensive Rookie of the Year. So that's really the only – it's just based off of a feeling. So I'm going with Jahad Campbell to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. So there you have it. There's our preseason predictions. We will come back to these at the end of the season to see how we did. But David, thank you for joining. This was the medical moment and kind of just transitioning into the football moment.
We got to get his score prediction for the game. Oh,
yeah, what's your score prediction? Yeah.
I'm going to go. We're going to see two big kicks from Schmidt. We're going to go 20-17. The Browns are pulling it off.
You think so? I like it. 20-17. That is David's. All right, Dustin. Let's just do this real quick. Give me your score prediction.
27-20 Browns. A couple big kicks from the guy as well, but Mr. Joe Flacco finds the end zone 3 times. He throws 3 touchdowns in this game. No running back. 3 touchdowns. 27-20.
So I hate to be the person to not take the Browns in this game. I really do.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But I also because we go back and forth and we keep score. I like to be right, but I also like to be wrong. Give me the Browns to win this game. They just squeak by. Give me 27-24 Cleveland Browns.
All right, so I got 27-20.
Awesome.
Allie's got 27-24. And what was yours, David?
2017.
2017.
20-17.
27. So you guys have it a little closer, and I have it as a touchdown. Okay.
There you go. All right, David, thank you for joining. We appreciate it. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Browns.
All right, that is Dr. David Ullery. A couple of things that we have to get to real quick before we make our game predictions around the league. Dustin, I'm going to turn it over to you if you don't mind telling our listeners about a friend.
That's right, guys. Join us this week. Lady Caroline, we're going to be there this weekend, September 6th. Cruise is at noon, sold out. We're looking forward to doing Lady Caroline down there at noon. Very cool about this. They're still booking for the season for September and October. So if you want to check them out, but we're really excited to be hosting the Here We Go Brownies Cruise this Saturday. By the way, if you are down you're down visiting the lake and you want to check out some other great things, check out the Greater Cleveland Aquarium while you're down there. That's right, the Greater Cleveland Aquarium. Look for some more ticket giveaways from our friends over at the Greater Cleveland Aquarium. Family 4-pack. But yeah, check it out. The Shark Tank. You can feed the stingrays. All the amazing things they have down there at the Greater Cleveland Aquarium.
Yeah, definitely. While you're at it, if you are actually in the market to buy, sell, or invest, or even rent, check out our friend Crystal John Tony over at eXp Realty. She is an industry expert. So give her a call if you're even just kind of inquiring about the process. I know it's a very stressful process to buy or sell a home. Give Crystal a call. She can really make the process a hell of a lot easier for you.
Right.
Dustin, we've got to make some picks here.
Yeah,
Are you ready?
Yeah, and say let's give a quick shout out to our friends over at Primetime Sports. Primetime Sports, guys, the legend next weekend. Clay Matthews will be signing at the Great Northern Mall. He doesn't make very many appearances in Cleveland. We were lucky enough to have him on one of our podcasts, as Allie knows, post game of that playoff loss to the Chiefs. But next Saturday, not this Saturday, but September 13th, 12-1. Mike Pruitt will also be there 12-1. So 2 Browns legends, but really cool that Clay Matthews is coming back to Cleveland to do a signing out there at primetime. So we'll be there. Look for some coverage of that. We'll be there live at primetime.
There you go. All right, let's get into it. Cowboys at Eagles tomorrow night, Thursday night football. Dustin, where are you going with this?
Eagles.
Yeah, give me the Eagles in this one. Chiefs at Chargers on Friday.
Chiefs at Chargers. I'm gonna go. Let's see. Chiefs at Chargers. Let's go. You know what? I'm gonna go with. This is where I'm gonna agree with David a little bit. Upset. Chargers win at home. Their home opener.
I agree. I'm also going with the Chargers here. The reason that I'm doing that is the Chargers and the Bengals always get off to a slow start. Always. So, and then everybody in the national media is like, oh my God, did we panic about the Bengals? Did we panic about the Chiefs? And no, they always end up being just fine. But I'm gonna take them both actually in week 1 losses. Give me the Chargers here. I agree with you. Dolphins at Colts.
Ooh, you know what? Home opener, Colts win. To his point, the tight end is showcased in this. They get, Danny Dimes shows that he's still got a little bit in the tank. I'm going Colts.
All right, I'm going to take the Dolphins here. I think this is a pretty gross game, but give me the Dolphins. I think they're the better team for now. Steelers at Jets.
This is kind of weird. Aaron Rodgers returns to the Jets. This is going to be kind of weird. The Jets win, and there's a debacle in Pittsburgh, and they don't know what to do. Jets win at home. Nobody sees it coming. Jets, give me the Jets.
I hope that's the case. I'm actually going to take the Steelers here. I don't know why. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to want to show out against his former team. Give me the Steelers in this one, but then they dive off of a cliff after this. Panthers at Jags.
Panthers at Jags, that you said?
Correct.
Give me the Jags. Give me the Jags.
I think so. At home, they've got a brand new head coach. Very offensive minded. I like the Jags here, but not by much. Cardinals at Saints.
You know what? He's had a whole offseason to prepare. He's smart. He's offensive minded. Kellen Moore gets his first win in the Dome. Kellen Moore, not a good team, but he's a smart coach, and he figures it out, and he wins in the Dome. Give me the Saints.
I think the Cardinals blow them out. Give me the Cardinals. Giants at Commanders.
Blow them out. Wow. Okay. Sorry, what was the next pick? You broke up a little bit there.
Giants at Commanders.
Giants at Commanders. Rookie quarterback, Commanders. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Russ is starting for the Giants, but
I guess Russ. But yeah, I mean, still, Daniels versus
yeah, I'm taking the Commanders. Bucks at Falcons. That'll be a good game.
Bucks.
Yeah, I think so. Even though it's in Atlanta, I like Baker in this one. Give me the Bucks. Bengals at Browns.
We already know. Browns.
Yeah, I already got it. Give me the Browns in this one. Raiders at Patriots.
Mike Vrabel and that team, he's got him fired up at Gillette. Give me the Patriots.
Yeah, I agree with this. I think this actually could be relatively close and competitive.
This could be a not gross game. It could be a competitive, fun game to watch.
This actually could be. That might be a good one, but I'm going to take the Patriots here. Niners at Seahawks.
I'm going to go Seahawks just because the 12th man is really tough to win. Of course, the Niners will bounce back, but they get a win up there in the Northwest It's a tough place to go in. And by the way, these
All right.
guys play each other pretty. I mean, these guys beat the hell out of each other. These two teams do, because I got to see a lot of them out west. But yeah, I think the Seahawks squeak one, a close game.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Niners here. I think their defense prevails in this one. I'm gonna take the Niners. Titans at Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Broncos here also. Lions at Packers.
Packers.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Packers here. I think in their next matchup later on in the year, I think the Lions get the win. But in the opener, Micah Parsons, even though he's battling through an injury, I'm going to take the Packers on this one. Texans at Rams.
Ugh. Is Stafford? Is he starting? Do we know?
Looks like it. Yep, I think they announced he was starting.
Then give me the no. Give me the Texans. I saw the Rams up close. I don't know if they're going to be a very good football team this year, to be honest with you. Give me the Texans to win on the road.
I do think that the Rams are going to be fairly decent this year. I'm going to take the Rams in this game. I actually think the Texans potentially are a little bit worse than they were a year ago. They've got a great defense though, so I'm a little bit worried about what they can do offensively. They got worse on the offensive line. No Joe Mixon. Just makes me a little nervous offensively that they'll be able to keep up. Ravens at Bills, Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night. That's going to be a hell of a football game. Boy. Give me the Bills in a close one on Sunday Night Football. The Bills in a close one with Josh Allen running it in with his legs to win it.
I think so. Man, this is such a good.
This is going to be a back and forth game. This is going to go back.
I think it just comes down to whoever has the ball last in this game. I really do. Man, I do think that I like the Ravens defense a little bit better. So you know what? I'm going to go with the Ravens, but I'm really surprised either way in this game. This is a really, really good game. And then Monday, we've got the Vikings at Bears.
Who's at the Bears? Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Vikings at Bears.
Vikings at Bears. Vikings. I think no. Give me the Bears at home. Give me the Bears at home. Give me the Bears.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm going to take the Bears here as well. So there you have it, Dustin. You went with the Colts over the Dolphins, the Jets over the Steelers, the Saints over the Cardinals, the Seahawks over the 49ers, the Texans over the Rams, and the Bills over the Ravens.
By the way, this might be the most we've ever had opposite picks in a long while. These are we
have no baseline. You know what I mean?
That's why week one is so crazy. That's why I kind of like you never know what happens week one. So I mean, we've seen some really stupid things happen week one in the NFL. I'm like, how the hell did that team beat that team, right? And you're like, oh, they figured it out. They're fine. There they go. So
yeah. All right. Well, that's it. Anything else? Dustin, any closing thoughts as we wrap up on a beautiful Wednesday evening?
No, I'm excited for the Browns this Sunday in the stadium. Get there early, get there, be loud. Look for our post-game show roughly hour and a half after the conclusion of the Browns game. Look for a notification telling you when we'll be going live. But look for our post-game coverage this Sunday. And by the way, stay safe. And of course, as I always say, be healthy and, enjoy the game this weekend. And let's just get a Browns victory. 1-0. This year, I'm just thinking about 1-0 each because we have a tough schedule. We got to go 1-0 each week. It's going to be a tough haul.
That's the name of the game. All right, quick word from our friends over at Mr. Zero. If it'll play. I don't know why it's not playing. All right, it is not going to play. That's cool. So we're just going to wrap up. There it is.
It did play. It was playing.
All right, look. Take what you can get. Take what you can get. There you go. That's all we can do. My Wi-Fi's done, so blessings. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, Browns fans, go Browns.
Go Browns.